Yes, indeed. Welcome into another episode of Rip N Riff, a Super Bowl preview edition of Rip N Riff here on the Rip N Riff YouTube channel. That over there is at Mr. Jared Moore. I am at Pucking Thoughts, Adam Bernard. Be with you for the next close to an hour, talking football, talking hockey. I don't know if there's really any baseball or basketball on the docket today, so tough luck if that's what you're looking for, but it's Super Bowl week. We've got about a week and a half till the NHL takes their break before the Olympics, which also operate as like a mini trade deadline. Saw that with the Rasmus Anderson deal last week. So, yeah, fun to get to a lot. We got plenty of football and hockey to get to. But, Jared, we're veterans of this Super Bowl, 2-week period, Radio Row, all that stuff. You got to pace yourself. Content, coverage.
Yeah, you don't want to go, balls to the wall for the first couple days because we still have, obviously we're taping this on a Tuesday. So we still have 12 days in front of us with everything going on. And, the first week's kind of the quiet week. And then next week's, the chaos week with Radio Row and all that stuff. And, yeah, there's a lot going on with Super Bowl stuff. So, it'll be fun. It should be a good game. So we'll certainly get into that as the show goes along.
And looking at we'll give our picks for the Super Bowl later. But last week, Jared and I both hit on the Broncos covering plus 5.5. Maybe if Sean Payton kicks a field goal in the first half, maybe
they win the game.
Maybe they win the game outright. Jared loses on the Rams money line. I lose on the Rams plus 2.5. My under in that game is out, and my over in the Broncos Patriots game is lean. So I at least had one of the sides right. We'll see if we do better this week.
We'll try. We only got one game left, so
yeah. We were on quite the roll before that, so we were due for a little bit of letdown. But nonetheless, let's get to this week's pack ripping lineup here, and a new graphic because of my own error on my end. But there you go. Figure
I like that.
It's a lineup. Let's take them into the station and let's see what they got. Everybody's about 6 feet tall. I'm bringing some Skybox Metal Universe. That blaster box just came in the mail, and I got some throwback 1992 Pinnacle football. Jared, you're going to be leading us off today. What do you got?
Oh, we got the Panini. I guess this is the Phoenix line.
Yes.
I forget what it's called. And hindsight being 20, it's really funny that JJ McCarthy's on the cover boy for this, considering who the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings was last year. And I know it's easy to dunk on the Jets. And because they give you so much material for you to dunk on them for with, just the Jets being the Jets. But, we're probably not taking enough shots at the Vikings for letting Sam Darnold walk out the door and turning to JJ McCarthy, seeing how that's worked out in hindsight.
You got a guy that threw for 4,300 yards last year, led him to a 14-3 record, chemistry with their top player and Justin Jefferson. And you decided, you know what? We're going to, instead of maybe trading McCarthy while he still has some value, we're going to go with that guy. And that has been a colossal failure. And Darnold, goes on to Seattle, obviously goes to Super Bowl. And here's the thing, we can get on there's a narrative that the Jets fans, it's the Patriots versus Darnold. How do we root? I'm rooting for Sam Darnold. I have no beef with Sam Darnold. The Jets failed him. He didn't fail the Jets. Go to Carolina. Same thing. Oh, did he fail there? Because Baker Mayfield sure as frick failed there too, and he went out to be fine in Tampa. So it's amazing. Sam Darnold gets to a team like the 49ers with a competent and really strong offensive mind. And look what happens. He gets unlocked. He gets another, if you're a Jets fan rooting against Darnold, you're a fucking schmuck and a moron. Just letting you know right now. It was not his fault.
I can't imagine there's any Jet fans because if you're rooting against Darnold, then you're rooting for the Patriots by proxy, and I can't imagine any Jets fans rooting for the Patriots.
Oh, hey, stupidity runs rampant in our country today, so nothing would surprise me in that regard, and lack of logic and all that. So, yeah, let's get right to the leadoff pack though. And as you can see here's some of the top rookies and cards that we could get from this pack that Jared's about to open up. We got Caleb Williams, rookie, Bo Nix, rookie, of course, parallels. It's a sweet-looking Josh Allen card. We pull what we pull here on RipNRiff. It's more about the conversation about the guys we pull out. So, anyway, here we go.
All right, yeah, we'll unfortunately have to pre-rip these packs yesterday because they were particularly
Oh, and that's why
difficult.
we did not come to you on a Monday because our friend over here was busy shoveling a ton of snow as the Northeast and basically the bulk of the country. Not by me.
Uh,
Six-
yeah, the rest of the country had a snow day, so did we.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely taken. I mean, I know there's chunks of ice floating in the Hudson River. It's been that cold that long there, and Blue
It's
Jackets ended up canceling their game due to inclement weather with the Kings last night. So
it's ridiculous, man. I mean, I know you're living out in California. It's Northern California, but like it's still California nonetheless. So you're not really dealing with at least this extreme weather. Now you deal with other extremes, which is really scary, but that's neither here nor there. Let's start with James Conner, Cardinals running back. I love the glossy like chrome finish for these cards. I forgot that these cards had this, so that's really nice.
not so
DeAndre.
bold prediction. The Cardinals will be the last job filled because it is the biggest train wreck out of any available positions right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's one train wreck that might be a little bit bigger that I'm hoping we get to at some point during this show, though.
All right.
So we have DeAndre Swift with the Bears. Let's see, Will Levis here with the Tennessee Titans. Obviously now shifting towards career backup mode.
Guess
Trey
that
Hendrick,
Levi Stadium advertisement's never going to happen, huh?
I don't think so. No, probably missed the boat on that one.
Yeah. Got to strike with the iron's hot.
Well, I don't trust a quarterback that loves Mayo as much as he does.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I like mayo. I feel like mayo is a very polarizing condiment. You either love it or hate it. Like, I'm somewhere I like it. I don't love it.
I like it in small doses, but like so it's funny I bring this up. So on my way home from poker the other night, because I got knocked out early, I'm like, all right, I'll stop at Burger King and get like a Whopper Junior or something. I don't know why they put as much mayo on it as they did, but it was to the point where like it was disgusting.
Was it like when you get a cream cheese bagel and like the cream cheese layers like this thick on it? Like it was a
Correct. Yeah, it was not a proper condiment to bun ratio, like your cream cheese situation there. And it's funny because cream cheese isn't cheap, but you would never know that. Like if you're like in the city, you go to like a random deli or whatever and get a bagel, and they haven't quite figured out how to the proper cream cheese to bagel ratio.
like they give you like almost like a quarter to a third of a tub on every bagel.
It's ridiculous. So let's see. Trey Hendrickson here with the Cincinnati Bengals. That might be the highlight of the year right now, just talking about cream cheese on bagels. Let's
Personally.
well, you don't get good bagels out there in California unless you have a place that claims they use like New York water or something.
So what I found is there's a fruit stand called Mike's Truck Garden, and they get frozen bagels from a place in the Bronx called Just Bagels, and they are excellent. They set like when my wife buys Thomas's bagels, I'm like, I hope you realize that like you and Annabelle are eating. I'm not touching.
Correct.
Like right now, the fruit stand is closed for the winter, so like I'm like in a bagel, I guess purgatory right now.
Yeah, I understand. Let's see. Marvin Harrison Jr. Contours rookie card, so that's nice. It'd be nice if Mazda Marv. I know they call him Maserati Marv, but I call him Mazda Marv because he hasn't quite lived up to that hype yet. It'd be nice if he would actually play like the former number 3 or number 2 or whatever he was overall pick. So.
And nothing against the Mazda owners out there. They're good, reliable cars, but a receiver of Marvin Harrison should be more in the sports car category, not the sedan category. Tight ends should be sedans.
Luke McCaffrey here, rookie card with the Commanders, and Edgerrin Cooper, rookie card with the Green Bay Packers to finish this up there.
I'm going to throw an interesting one at your top here because you just pulled the Commanders card last.
Sure.
Would you bet on them to finish above or below 500 next year if they have a healthy Jaden Daniels for the season? Because last year was
Have they had an offensive coordinator yet?
I don't think they do. Yeah, because Cliff Kingsbury's out. Because last year they got the season before the one that just passed. They got all the benefits of the bounces. Like things went their way, and then like this year we saw what happened when things don't go their way. But I don't think they aren't as good as they were the year they got to the conference championship. But I don't think they're as bad as they were last year either, because obviously no Jaden
Oh,
Daniels.
that's right. They promoted David Blau to offensive coordinator, the former backup quarterback with the Lions, and I think he might have been with the Packers briefly, if I remember right.
Well, so I mean, I think they could get back to 500. I mean,
I guess my issue with the Commanders is this was a year where everything went wrong in regards to Jaden Daniels and his ability to stay healthy. Like, he had a lot of injuries with the elbow. I don't know what's going on there, and if he's not healthy, like that I know it's, really going out on a limb there saying, hey, if you're starting Pro Bowl quarterback isn't healthy, you're probably not going to be very good. But like, that kind of matters. And you go back to 2 years ago where everything kind of went right for him, and now you have this year where everything went wrong for him. So I guess the law of averages says they should probably be somewhere in the middle, but like somewhere in the middle is probably like 9-8, 8-9. It's like right in that threshold you were talking about. So I would lean towards them being a disappointment more so than a pleasant surprise.
the reason I'll say over 500 is I think the NFC East is wide open. The Giants are on the rise. The Cowboys are the Cowboys, whatever. But the Eagles, there's been a lot of turmoil there right now. It's Sirianni, AJ Brown. I know they're a very good team with a really strong defense, but something's got to change there, and I got to see what they look like after that change.
And I'm glad you brought the Eagles up because that's what I was teasing earlier. For a team that has as much talent as the Philadelphia Eagles in terms on offense, you have Jalen Hurts, you have Saquon Barkley.
AJ Brown.
Even if you trade AJ Brown, you still have Devontae Smith on the outside. You have one of the best offensive lines in the football. It's incredible to me how they're having this much trouble finding an offensive coordinator and someone that wants to work with that group. So I don't know what that says about Jalen Hurts. I don't know what that says about Nick Sirianni, but the fact that the Eagles are kind of a shit show right now is it brings joy to my heart as a Giants fan.
And yeah, I mean, it's something needs to get resolved there, and I'd like to see AJ Brown go somewhere where he's happy, but we'll see.
I would like for them to get rid of him because I think that would be a big mistake. So
I would love to see him in Buffalo. Like, if get Josh, like we could talk about the Bills in a little bit, but boy, have they screwed on the whole coaching thing too. They need to beg McDermott to come back.
I don't think they've screwed up as bad as the Cleveland Browns have. I mean,
yeah, but the Cleveland Browns screwing up bad is like, okay, great, the sun's gonna rise again tomorrow. Like that whole thing with getting rid of McDermott, which I can understand the impulse, but like to come out and then blame him for the drafting of Keon Coleman when it's obvious that the GM was the one who wanted him. What you've done now is you've made a situation where a coach is going to be like, I'm not going there. Because if the owner's just going to throw me under the bus for the GM, I don't want to be in that dynamic. So rather than the Bills being an attractive position with Josh Allen, I know Mike McCarthy got hired by the Steelers. You want to bring in like a savvy vet coach that knows how to, like, they're not going to go there and deal with that. You're going to have to take some up-and-comer, kind of like a Kellen Moore last year, and hope it pans out for you. And like, if I'm Josh Allen, I'm pissed. My buddy, I don't know if you're a big Seinfeld guy, but there's that episode where Kramer breaks up with a girl. And like you see the scene of him basically telling her off like everything that's wrong with her, and then realizes he wants to get back with her. And then in a future scene, he's like saying all the opposite things. That's what the Bills need to do with Sean McDermott. They need to go back and be like, we fucked this up. Like, we'll take the egg on our face. Please come back. But they won't.
Let me just do a quick Twitter search because we bring this entire story up, and I think we literally have breaking news right on this topic.
On the Bills?
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills have hired Joe Brady to be their head coach.
You're gonna win another AFC East. You're gonna try and win the division with the way the Patriots look in Vrabel now, and you're gonna try and make a run in the AFC with Joe Brady. Have fun.
I mean, that just tells me that like Josh Allen picked the coach. It was either going to be him or Brian Daboll, and I guess it's pretty bad if Brian Daboll looks at the Buffalo Bills situation. He's like, no, I think I got a better shot with the Raiders. But yeah, Adam Schefter reporting that the Bills are working to finalize a deal to make Joe Brady their new head coach, 5-year deal. So good luck.
I would imagine for the Browns, for the Cardinals coaching search, and for anything related to the Browns, it's like that scene out of Major League where Lou Brown's like, oh, I don't know, I got another guy on the other line who wants some white walls. I'll have to get back to you. I don't want to manage the Cleveland Indians. I'll get back to you. Like,
I mean, all you need to know about the Browns is they're going to hire Jim Schwartz because you can't possibly lose Jim Schwartz. And like, I know their defenses have been good, but like, we're old enough to remember the last time Jim Schwartz was an NFL head coach, and that experiment did not go well. And you go from Kevin Stefanski. To me, this is a major downgrade. It just goes to speak of like how unattractive that Browns job is, and even the Cardinals. Like, you're not hearing anything about the Cardinals job, so I don't know what direction they're going to go in. So it's a mess. Glad it's not my team.
as a Jets fan, I always say thank God for the Browns, because at least there's that one. At least they're probably below us in terms of utility.
Well, you say that, but next year when the Jets fire Aaron Glenn, you're going to be right back in the same situation.
I know.
Unless you have the number 1 pick and you have a pathway to a quarterback. So, I mean, we'll stay tuned there. Speaking of teams that don't have a pathway to a quarterback, how about the Cleveland Browns with Deshaun Watson? By the way, I could not believe yesterday when I saw the report that Shedeur Sanders made the Pro Bowl games. How many people do you think said no before they finally settled on Shedeur Sanders?
Well, again, and part of the deal with the Pro Bowl back in the day was it was a free trip to Hawaii. And back then players weren't getting paid as much. So like a free trip to Hawaii was like, okay, cool.
Right.
Who the hell wants to go to Santa Clara in freaking early February for like something they don't have to do? Like, I get it. It's I know the Pro Bowl and the All-Star game and all the sports is kind of just, except for baseball, that one still kind of holds water to a degree. They've all kind of just, they've run their course and there's really no way to make them competitive again. But the football one is just embarrassing. Go back to like the old, quarterback club competitions where you had the guys out there throwing balls, hitting targets. Like that I would tune in to watch, but they'll never do it because if somebody gets hurt, that's it.
I just couldn't believe they should settle on Shedeur. Like was Tyrod Taylor too busy that he couldn't have made it? Exactly. Like, how many people turned them down? Like, was Cam Ward too busy that he couldn't do this? Like,
and I'm sure Shedeur is like, oh wow, a trip to the Pro Bowl. Oh, okay. I'm not doing anything that weekend. Sure, okay.
Do you think the last time the Super Bowl was in Santa Clara / San Francisco? I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. So when I went to that Super Bowl, my roommate was our good buddy Tony Scarangella.
Skags.
And Tony at one point, I guess because we had a few hours to kill, it was like, I'm gonna go see the house from Full House. You want to come along? And I was like, no, I don't.
Like, listen, Santa Clara is like a good drive from San Francisco. Plus, with the traffic, where the what do they call them? Like the painted ladies or whatever those houses are. Right. But yeah, I haven't driven by that yet. I don't go down to the city that much. Like unless I'm going to the Chase Center for a concert or a Valkyrie game.
Right. There's no point.
Oh, I go to San Jose. I go to Sacramento.
It's congestion. It's expensive everywhere you go. It just is what it is. We'll breeze through the rest of these quickly. Josh Hines Allen here with the Jaguars. Hopefully for their sake they'll be back.
Call me crazy, but the AFC South could be the most competitive division in football next year. Texans, Jaguars, Colts with a healthy quarterback.
Maybe
NFC North, AFC South.
Also, like, is Daniel Jones going to be back as their quarterback next year? You would think so, but like it's not set in stone necessarily.
And I know the Titans stink, but they'll take a step.
Aiden Hutchinson with the Lions there. Let's see, Zay Flowers from your Baltimore Ravens. You'll like this card as a Jets fan. A treasured tandems Jets card here with Vinny Testaverde and Keyshawn Johnson.
That is a really nice card. I thought you were going to set me up for something like Brooks Bollinger and I fill in some random receiver. That's what I thought was coming.
I don't think Panini trolls that to that extent. One I'll keep in my collection, the Malik Neighbors rookie card there.
There we go.
See that. Hopefully he comes back strong off the torn ACL. Hopefully the Giants get another receiver opposite him that can stretch the field as well and really add to that offense. And Devontae Walker rookie card here with the Baltimore Ravens to finish up our second and final pack there. So Good stuff there with the football. Pleased to see it.
Pleased to see it. Good pack. Got a Marvin Harrison Contours rookie, a Malik Neighbors rookie. Very happy with that, with those. And I love that Vinny Testaverde, Keyshawn Johnson card there. That one was great. So going to keep some rolling, some football here. Now we're going to do some 92 score Pinnacle super pack, they call it. Not the ones that contribute campaign funds somewhat illegally, but this is a super pack of cards. So there we go. This is not a great rookie class. Like Edgar Bennett rookie is probably the peak, or maybe Steve Bono. Not really anything there. We're looking for good name players at this point, like a Barry Sanders or Reggie White. Rest in peace. So let's get to the crack in here. Let's get the West Coast Rip Cam up on the screen. Neil Anderson on the pack here. Shout out Bill Zimmerman. I'm sure that was one of his favorite childhood Bears right there.
Just another coaching update. Adam Schefter says the Titans will hire former Giants head coach Brian Daboll as their offensive coordinator, provided he does not get the Raiders head coaching job.
So Robert Saleh and Brian Daboll, just a couple of years ago, running New York football, now going to go down there. I actually think that's a good pairing. I think that's like Saleh's a very strong defensive line. Daboll's a good offense. Like, I think that's actually, and they're going to bond over all the crap they dealt with in New York. Those two are going to be BFFs real quick. Saleh and Daboll. Maybe that's like a weekly radio show on like the local sports station down there. Anyway, let's start with, and this is a classic pin, and there is some bricking here, so we'll have to be careful. We start with, you mentioned the Raiders there. Jeff Jager, the kicker for them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll get Brian Daboll as the head coach. If I were the Raiders, I'd hire Daboll, I think. Especially now if they're not getting Brady. I mean, maybe they'll wait for Kubiak, I suppose, but
Clint Kubiak, that's the name. They probably want to wait for him, but
I don't know. If I were the Raiders, I think I would go with Daboll.
I would too. But but the thing is, maybe Clint. If I'm the Cardinals, I make a full court press for Clint Kubiak and really try and shake up that NFC West. We got a Barry Word, Kansas City Chiefs card there. Or decent running back in his day. Definitely, the bricking's not bad, but there is a little bit of stickiness here. We do have a rookie, Lions defensive end Robert Porcher. It's pretty good in his day. Good edge rusher there. The Lions, we'll see how they bounce back next year. I think, now that there's been a year of transition after losing both coordinators, they're definitely a good bounce back candidate, but we'll see. Let's stay in the NFC North. A guy who's a hell of a quarterback and also very good at pilfering state funds for his daughter's volleyball program in college, Brett Favre.
Allegedly. Use the word allegedly. We don't want to get sued here.
Allegedly, my ass. If he wasn't guilty, we'd know about it by now. But hey, good for you. You made all that money and you live in a state like Mississippi where the cost of living is zero. Why not donate some of your own money to the volleyball program? Oh, no. You got to go in and steal money from the state government. Fucking schmuck. We got Dermontti Dawson here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Great center. One of the great centers of the late 80s and early 90s there.
Also, he never allegedly stole funds from the state of Mississippi. So there you go.
Pennsylvania. Good for Dermontti Dawson. The only thing he would steal is sacks from the opposing defense. He's like, you ain't gonna sack through me.
That's right.
Now, I tweeted this out yesterday. Either this or the white with the red pants and the classic Seahawks look. That should be the Super Bowl jerseys, not more of this navy blue on navy blue.
Yeah.
Boringness. Come on.
That was a good tweet by you. They're not going to do that, but that was a good tweet by you. And I especially wanted to see that Seahawks combo.
And the thing is, it's like, I get it. There are rules and regulate. Like, it's clothing. This is what people want. It would make it probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing Super Bowls of all time, but they won't. We'll give our picks and breakdown for that game shortly here. We got Raina Thompson, former New York Giant there, looking like he's getting practice in. Let's see. We'll stay in the NFC East. We got Seth Joyner, hell of a linebacker there for the Eagles in his day. Cardinals too.
Okay. Native of Spring Valley, New York, which is like 15 minutes from me.
There we go. All right. So New York boy. Did not know that about him. Now, we talked about Dermontti Dawson being one of the great Steeler offensive linemen. Now, you talk about one of the great Steelers defensive linemen / linebackers from the 90s. Greg Lloyd, who was kind of like James Harrison before James Harrison in terms of being real scary. Like not a guy you'd want to beat in a dark alley.
I completely agree with that assessment. Since you mentioned the Steelers, do you want to take a minute here to talk about them hiring Mike McCarthy as the head coach?
I mean, clearly they're going to try and get Rodgers to come back for one more year if that's the hire, and I think that's the smart move. Like this, I'm never going to question what the Steelers do. Steelers, how many under 500 seasons have they had? And I know since pre-Mike Tomlin, like they just are consistently a good team. So like whatever decisions they make, it'd be silly of me to, be like, oh, what do they do? They know.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. It sounds like they're going to try to run it back with Rodgers, I suppose. I mean, Rodgers, the attention whore he is, will probably take most of the offseason to officially decide what he wants to do, but it is what it is.
I mean, and we talk about tough divisions, and the AFC North has always been one of the tougher ones. But you look at it right now. Bengals have a coach on the hot seat, Zach Taylor, and if they get off to a bad start, knows how that goes. Cleveland's going to stink. Baltimore head coach, see how that changes with Harbaugh out of there. Apparently, he was starting to run. His voice was starting to get old in the locker room, so maybe I can absolutely see like, all right, won the division with this group last year. Let's run it back in a division that's probably going to be weaker than it was last year. So I don't mind them. Let's see here. We got Greg Davis from the Cardinals. A lot of kickers out of this pack. We've got a Dexter Carter 49er one. 49ers just a couple of weeks out from missed by a couple of weeks having a home Super Bowl. Kind of glad they're not in it because having to go down there next week, having the Niners there would be like a pain in. Or I'd have a bunch of people be like, hey, can you pick me up a souvenir from there? Like, yeah. Couple people, yes. I'm not bringing back like a suitcase of stuff. Now this is the Patriots uniform I wanted for the Super Bowl with the Seahawks blue top, silver pants. That would be it, right?
Yeah.
And if they did the red and the white top and they made the Seahawks go white and gray, I'd be okay with that too. Either way. But you spoke about Kevin Stefanski before. We got Chris Hinton, offensive tackle with the Falcons there. Falcons are a weak division, so we'll see how it happens. Maybe Baker bounces back next year. Maybe the Panthers that took that step forward. The Saints also looked very good at the end of the season. The Saints down the stretch seemed like they were putting it together a little bit.
Yeah, Tyler Shuck looked like he might be a guy. So even though he's like 47, he might be a guy. So,
and the thing about like not rushing rebuilds and stuff like that, like, okay, Tyler Shuck has shown you enough that he deserves to go into next season, unquestioned starter. Let's see what he does now. Let's see if year 2 continues off that. And if he plateaus, then you could probably move. So at least the Saints are out there.
If I were the Saints, I would look at their situation and say, we need a lot of talent across the board. I wouldn't waste the number 8 or 9 pick on Jeremiah Love like I'm seeing in some mock drafts that, running back is such a luxury pick. I know you want to plan for a future after Alvin Kamara, but like you should probably also plan for the present and get other players in there who can play and worry about running back later.
That's the thing. Like, I'm not one of these people that devalue the running back position. I get how important it is, but you can get good running backs in the middle rounds that are serviceable for you. And that's not to say you shouldn't spend the first round pick. Top 10 picks sometimes could it's not Ashton Genty. It's not him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
and even that, like the Raiders did, that was a total luxury pick. But like, what else do the Raiders have in the roster? The Giants did the same thing with Saquon. At least with Saquon in his case, like you could say, yeah, generational back, and like he was good. Like he wasn't the problem with the Giants, but they just needed so much other stuff at the time. But I don't really feel like relitigating the 2018 draft again for the 8 millionth time. So
there we go. No problem there. It's a Cardinals heavy pack here. We got Rich Camarillo, so we got the punter and the kicker from that team. If you're a Cardinals fan and want those cards, give me a shout out or reach out to the show at RipNRiff@gmail.com because clearly I'm not keeping. Another Cardinal here, Aeneas Williams. Now that was an all-pro, really strong cornerback of his era. One of the shutdown guys of the 90s there.
Hall of Famer.
There you go. Another important member of the Eagles defense from back then, Clyde Simmons. So we got Seth Joyner and Clyde Simmons. Maybe we'll get Reggie White. We'll see.
Reggie White. Even like a Hugh Douglas would be fine.
Now we have Mike Kroll from the Denver Broncos there with their old orange crush helmets. And yeah, we haven't really spoken much about that, how Denver handled the game this week. And like, yes, I understand.
Horribly. They handled it horribly.
And I've heard this point made, and it's so true. It's like your home stadium is Denver. Weather changes quickly in Denver. You didn't have a plan. you didn't have a plan in case weather conditions changed. Two, did you not have anybody like saying, hey, by the way, there's a storm coming in about 30, 40 minutes sometime after halftime. We need to get points now. Don't yeah, it was stupid.
Analytics in general is ruining sports as we're seeing it because these coaches, they don't understand it. They point to it and they blame it. I think they literally just think analytics means like, yeah, if it's 4th and 3, we just go for it. And that is 100% one of those situations where, yeah, obviously someone in the Broncos organization needs to be in Sean Payton's ear about the weather. But even if the weather, the conditions were just fine, like you go up 10 points in that situation. Like what are you doing? You're playing with a backup quarterback. The Patriots had shown nothing offensively to that point. You trust your defense. You trust what you're doing offensively. Yeah, even if the conditions were perfect, you should kick the field goal and go up 10 there. Like the whole point of these games is to outscore the other team. And the whole point, the way you do that is by putting points on the board. And like, yeah, I understand scoring a touchdown. 7 is more than 3. That's how basic math works. Like, I completely get that. But the 3 is also more than 0. And too many times in these situations, these teams, they either go for it, but they do it with a stupid play call or just bad decision making, and they wind up getting a 0 for their efforts. And it's just infuriating.
I think, listen, I'm not anti-analytics. If I'm making a big decision, I want every piece of available information to me. So in that regard, analytics is good. But I think sometimes what the decisions are, it's like, you want to go for it week 6 at home against a struggling Browns team. You want to, not in the AFC Championship. There's different situations where you do different things. And I'm more of a play it conservative in a big game because you get every point you can, especially in those situations. But
here's all you need to know about that game and how Mike Vrabel outcoached Sean Payton in that game. Once the weather became a shit show, Mike Vrabel basically took the approach of, we're not taking any chances. We're not doing anything outlandish. We're going to run the football. We're going to try to just run the clock out, even though there's over a quarter and like 3 minutes remaining in the game. Because we don't think you can score. And even if we don't score again, we don't have to score again because we have the leads. So we're just gonna pound the ball as much as we can, and we'll punt it away. We'll play field position. We'll do what we have to do. And I think that was completely the right approach in that situation.
There were times where you could see like they're running the ball on 2nd and long, and it's like, okay, they're content with punting the ball here, and they're fine with that. They know they're taking what? If they get the ball and you get 3 plays, 40 seconds play clock, we're just going to take a couple of minutes off the clock, and that's fine. Just trying to get to 0. And
we're going to make Jarrett Stidham beat us in a blizzard, which, by the way, he couldn't do because, and I actually thought Jarrett Stidham played okay in like the first portion of the game, at least the part that was scripted. But I can't really blame Jarrett Stidham for the loss, but yeah, Jarrett Stidham was not going to lead a comeback in the blizzard. I mean, they had a chance. They did go for that one field goal. They had a chance, but somebody on the Patriots got their hand on it.
You got a little tip on it. Another thing too is like, RJ Harvey's a pass catching back, and I know J.K. Dobbins was hurt, but like you can't pick up a running back off the scrap heap or have one ready to be able to actually run the football, because we all know RJ Harvey is not that type of running back. So
yeah, I mean, the Broncos roster construction got a little bit exposed there with their running back room.
So see if they address that in the draft. There's still a few more cards to get to out of this pack before we move on to hockey and maybe a little figure 5. Talked a little bit about the Lions earlier. There's Benny Blades, brother Brian Blades.
Benny Blades.
We got Steve Jordan from the Vikings. We'll keep it in the NFC North. We got one of the better Cowboys of the era, Jay Novacek. Shout out Dave LaGreca.
Shout out to Dave LaGreca, indeed. Shout out to, by the way, the Royal Rumble this weekend. If you have ESPN Plus, you're more than welcome to watch that at 2 p.m. this Saturday.
I'm going to be I'm actually, I say I don't go to San Francisco a lot. I'm actually going to be in San Francisco Saturday. So,
okay.
We're going to see Book of Mormon. That's like one of the only musicals that I'm like, yeah, I want to go see that. So it's in town. We're going to go see it. We got Anthony Munoz here, Hall of Fame offensive tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals. They could sure use a guy like that, right? They could probably take Anthony Munoz in his current structure, and he could still give you maybe like half a game on the line.
Probably. I mean, he's probably still a monster of a man, but I don't know. A lot of these offensive linemen just slim down as soon as they retire, which is probably a smart idea. Get all that excess weight off, and it's probably good for your joints in the long term.
Probably. We got Chris Spielman from the Lions. And then let's see here. We got 5 cards to go. We've got a couple of Team 2000 inserts. Unfortunately, it's Lamar Lathan, cool Oilers card. And then John Vaughn just, sporting those awesome Patriot jerseys that they should wear for the Super Bowl this week. Let's see here. You like Henry Ellard? We got a Henry Ellard base card. You like Henry Ellard? We got a game winners card. Rams this week against Seattle. I think Sean McVay kind of cost him that game to a degree. Some of his play calling over the last few weeks has kind of been, what are you doing? So,
yeah, Sean McVay did not have a good postseason. To me, the game was lost on the fumble on the punt, and then Seattle went down and tacked on another touchdown to go up 11 or whatever it was. So, I think that's where that game was lost because the Rams weren't really having that much trouble moving the ball down the field against the Seahawks, but once you fall behind double digits, it's an uphill battle.
Also, that in a game like that, you can't afford any mistakes. And that muffed punt by Xavier Smith that changed the whole course of the game. Right there. The game was that close that literally that play changed the whole. Now the final card, we did pull a Reggie White card. Now it's an idol series where they pair an NFL player with another local athlete from Philadelphia. Now, if you're thinking early 90s, what other athletes would they possibly pair Reggie White with? Maybe a Charles Barkley, maybe somebody like that.
Oh, no. From another sport?
Another
Philadelphia?
Sport. Yeah, maybe a Barkley, maybe a John Kruk. No. Bobby Jones. I don't even know who that is. Bobby Jones. Okay, so if anyone appreciates defense, it's Reggie. That's why one of the reasons they list the former Philadelphia 76ers basketball star Bobby Jones is one of his sports heroes. Jones was known primarily for his tenacious defensive play and for sparking the Sixers in the final minutes. Jones was named to the NBA's All-Defensive Team 8 times and was an All-Star twice with Philadelphia with his first team, the Denver Nuggets. So maybe I should know a little more about Bobby Jones, but that's not exactly the card I'd be pairing Reggie White with.
That you could have given me 100 guesses. I would not have gotten Bobby Jones.
He's a Deacon. There was no other famous Deacon you could have paired him with. That would have made more sense. There we go. So football portion of the show almost done, but it's time for our last pick segment of the year. We got to get into our picks for the Super Bowl. All right, folks, this is it. Super Bowl 60, Super Bowl LX. You don't know your Roman numerals. At least it'll be easy for the next few to be like LX1, LXII, LXII. Then it starts to get great. But let's take a look at the lines and the spreads here for this game. It opened Seattle 3.5. It went up to 4.5, 5 at some point. Total, I think, opened 46.5, now down to 45.5. Here, I mean, it's going to be a close game. I don't think anybody's going to blow the other one out. New England has a really good defense. Seattle has a really good defense. I know there's a lot of talk about, Sam Darnold has to continue to prove it. I think he's proven it at this point. Drake May, second-year quarterback in a Super Bowl, hasn't really had to do all that much for them in the playoffs. I think maybe 4.5 is a little much. I would probably take the Patriots with points at this point and go under, but I don't know, man. Seahawks look really good.
I feel like the second I buy into Sam Darnold, I'm going to regret it. So on that note, I'm gonna lay the 4.5 with the Seahawks here and probably finally see Sam Darnold exposed for the fraud that I think he is at the end of the game when he sees ghosts again, and somehow Drake May is hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and pissing off sports fans everywhere outside the New England region. But yeah, I'm going to lay the 4.5 with Seattle, and I'm leaning towards the under as well.
I had to send an email to our boss, who's a Patriots fan, and I said to her, "It must have been a real tough 3 years for you there, not being competitive after being sandwiched between Super Bowl runs. That must have been a real tough time for you.
It's
Real tough time." And you know what? Here's the thing: a lot of people are like, "Oh, can we just not have the Chiefs out of the AFC?" I guess careful what you wish.
all right. Fine. This is what you get. This
Yeah.
is what you get. You get the. How about the Patriots dynasty being back?
So I'm gonna take the points with the Patriots, but I actually, you know what? I think this could turn like as strong as the defenses are. I think maybe first half under, but second half over is probably the way I'd go. I think maybe at some point they start to put points up. So that's how I would play it. But let's see how the week goes. Let's see if there's any injuries, and we'll revisit these picks. We'll do another Rip and Riff next week where we give out official picks. But right now Jared's laying the points with the Seahawks. I'm taking the points with the Patriots, and I lean overall over, but I would take first half under, second half over. That's how I would.
Yeah, and I will wait until next week when all of the prop bets are bred up, and then I will selectively choose a bunch of unders.
And here we'll do a couple of props next week as well. So you get some sides today, and we'll get the mashed potatoes today. You get the corn on the cob today. Next week, we'll give you the meat. There we go. A couple sides and a couple of that. Now let's get into a little hockey here. Certainly been a lot of hockey to discuss here. We approach the deadline. And here's the top rookie and cards we want from the 2024-25 Skybox Metal Universe. Anybody that watches this on a regular basis knows collect Macklin Celebrini. So hoping to get any rookies I can out of that. They also have the die-cut goalie mask cards. As you see there on the left, there's the Minnesota Wild's version of it. Hope to maybe pull one of those. I don't necessarily feel one in either pack, but we'll see if one's hidden. So let's get the little Skybox Metal Universe here. Let's get Reggie and Bobby Jones out of the way.
Yeah, peace out, Bobby.
Bobby. No disrespect to Bobby, you know. All right.
There's only one Bobby Jones to me, and it was the guy that was in the Mets rotation in the late 90s.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I was going to say the golfer. Here we go. So let's start here. First up in the pack, we've got, and I think you're going to like the look of these cards, Mason Marchment there. Went to Seattle. Now with the Columbus Blue Jackets. That was a fantasy pickup of the week I gave on Total Hockey Now last week, and he's got ever since he came back from being hurt. So far, so good for Mr. Marchment.
Yeah, Marchment's been a long time favorite of mine. Someone who I would very much like to play on my team. Big, strong winger, plays an abrasive style, but also chips in offense and secondary scoring.
Next up, we got former New Jersey Devil, current Calgary Flame, Igor Sharangovich.
Has really struggled since he signed that long-term deal. So he's a guy where he's a lot of scoring wingers are streaky in general, and he's a guy he has a good release on his shot, but yeah, if he's just not going, if he's not putting the puck in there, he doesn't really do a whole lot else.
Calgary definitely going to be a seller at the deadline. They've already traded Rasmus Anderson to Vegas. Nazem Kadri should fetch them a nice return. We'll see what else they try and get offload as they get ready to move into a new building soon. Saddle Dome's going to go away. They're going to, every arena in Canada is either sponsored by Rogers or Scotia. It seems like it's one or the other. It's going to be like Scotia Place, I think, is going to be because you got Rogers Arena, Rogers Place, Rogers Center is the baseball stadium. So yeah, can we get like a Tim Hortons arena? Can we get something?
I was literally going to say Tim Hortons, dude. They just opened the Tim Hortons right down the street by me, man.
Can we get a Boston Pizza Arena? I don't know, something. We got Akil Thomas here with the Kings. They're going to be, all three California teams are going to be interesting as they vie for those playoff spots out in the Pacific and the wild card. I think you're going to get Vegas, Edmonton as your top two and some order out of the Pacific, but then that third spot between those three California teams wide open. I was at the Sharks Rangers game last Friday. I'm glad I went to my seats right away because all of San Jose's goals came before the first TV timeout. That was nice. Yeah. And no fault to Spencer Martin. I mean, like, you leave Macklin Celebrini open in the slot for a one-timer. Most goalies aren't stopping that. They left Jan Regenda open in the slot, who had a beautiful backhand. The first goal, they don't clear the crease. Like, these are all fundamental. Like, what are you going to do?
And the Rangers started their teardown yesterday, trading Carson Soucy to the Islanders for a third-round pick. So we kind of anticipated that when we talked about him last week. Like, he's a pending free agent. Like, it makes sense to move on from a guy like him and get what you can.
Now, we got the Capitals here. Pierre-Luc Dubois. I know he's been hurt. Capitals are an interesting team because, like, they're still in the mix, of course. I mean, everybody is in the Metro at this point, even the Rangers, if you want to be mathematical about it. But curious to see how they handle the deadline. I can't see them making a big push to add people, but I can't see them punting either. And what's potentially Ovechkin's last season, so who knows?
I saw they were one of those teams on the periphery on Artemi Panarin. I can't imagine. I would think if the Rangers were going to move Panarin, they would try to move him out of division. But I mean, I guess just stay tuned. I mean, Panarin would fit there, I suppose, because the Capitals have long brought in a lot of Russian players, but it's an interesting dynamic as well because Panarin very much not a Putin guy, and Ovechkin very much a Putin guy. So maybe you don't want to bring him in there.
The team I think that's going to get him is Detroit. This is the year they got to start making moves. Yzerplan's finally starting to take shape. Reunite him with Kane. Like, that's who I think where he goes. And he's out of the division. He's in the Atlantic. You don't got to deal.
By the way, am I nuts when I saw the report the other day that the Rangers were looking for like a Brock Nelson type package? I'm like, are you nuts? Like, do you really think you're getting like a first round pick plus like another good pick
For Panarin?
And a prospect? Only because like it's going to be a limited market. He's got the no move clause. That's a big number, even with the Rangers retaining half of it. And they changed the rules where you can't loop in the third team anymore to eat another 25% of it. Like, I know Panarin is certainly a productive winger, but like he's also kind of like a perimeter player, not really like a quote unquote like playoff style player. So like, I don't know.
The argument I'll make is that there hasn't been a lot of offense from anybody on the Rangers this year. And if you put Panarin in a team that's actually like a team like Detroit that puts goals in the net, has a good power play, I think that maybe gets him going and makes it worth. It's one of those, I think when people spend the price they're going to spend on Panarin, they're going to be like, whoa, that was crazy. And then when you see the return they get, they'll be like, okay, it's a little more digestible. That's how I think that's going to go down. We got Mark Stone with the Golden Knights. And then to wrap up the first pack, we got a little, like I guess a purple parallel here of Braden Point, who's been hurt on and off this year. Tampa Bay still rolling. Imagine if they were healthy.
Yeah, it must be nice. It must be a nice team that never has any draft picks and then whatnot, just continues to be productive and churn out guys from their system who turn out to be useful hockey players. Must be nice.
Must be nice. We got Zachary Bolduc from the St. Louis Blues, who are a terrible team, and Braden Shen, Robert Thomas are names that are being thrown around as they should come deadline time.
Jordan Kyrou as well.
Yep. Kyrou's not had a good year at all. We got the regular version, the base version of Braden Point. So there we go. If you didn't have enough of him in the first pack, we got him here. Andrei Kuzmenko. There he is now with the Kings. And let's see here. We got Sam Reinert, last prolific winger for the Panthers. I'm still waiting for them to come around. Like, it hasn't been a great year.
I don't think it's going to be their year, man.
maybe all the extra hockey over the last few playoff runs has caught up with them. 3 straight Stanley Cup final appearances. It's a lot. I mean, if you think about it, you play roughly 20 games a postseason. That's 3/4 of a season already. Last 3 years.
I think the other thing with the Panthers that nobody's talking about, Bobrovsky's been terrible this year. He has just been like one of the worst goalies in the league. Terrible this year.
And he's like second in wins, so that masks that, or he was second in wins. But yeah, his other numbers are not great.
Yeah, like all of those other numbers, and I know this because spoiler alert for my article for All About the Jersey tomorrow. I wrote about how the Devils have a major Jacob Markstrom problem because he's also been one of the worst goalies in the league this year. And like it's like him, Bobrovsky, Linus Ullmark, and Jordan Binnington, like the bottom 4 goalies in like basically like every major category.
And like Binnington, we know what he is at this point. Doesn't surprise me. I think he got the last good squeeze out of him at the 4 Nations last year in a very good playoff run.
Ullmark's dealing with whatever he's dealing with off the ice, so you kind of give him a little bit of a break. But
yeah.
Just generally speaking, you can't win when your goaltender is like one of the worst in the league. You're just not going to be good enough offensively to make up for it.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, maybe Bobrovsky gets it going at some point, and maybe they play Tarasov a little more and rest Bobrovsky so he's fresh for the playoffs. I mean, I'm not going to go out saying that they're missing the playoffs just yet, but
I don't think they're making it, dude. I really don't.
The only thing is that the Atlantic is wide open. Almost every team in that division, you can make an argument that they could either finish top 3 or steal a wild card spot. Nobody's out of it in that division. So
yeah,
We'll see. Florida finds a way. Now we wrap up. Speaking of the Atlantic, the last two cards in this pack, we got John Tavares from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and
another team that I don't think's making it.
well, they got Stolarz back. Let's see if that somehow, provides some solidification and, maybe gets them going a little bit. Now, a guy that's not with Toronto anymore, but just made his return last week, Mitch Marner.
Yeah, I don't know why they went with the Nickelodeon Slime Time theme, but there you go.
This is what kind of insert is this? I don't even know. It's a Z Force. That's what it is. Z Force. Guess the Z is zany for the background. I don't know.
Is the Z for like the Zubaz pants strip there, whatever that is?
I need to get me a good pair of like Jets green Zubaz pants. I need to find those if I can, because Zubaz were it back in the day. There we go.
I think I'm out on it.
Now, I would like to think that that like Wolverine meme where he's holding like the picture and he's crying in bed. Yeah, I think that's Austin Matthews with Mitch Marner most nights.
Yeah, you could do that for a lot of different NHL people. But
that was his best buddy. I feel like that was like, no, not Mitchie.
Yeah, and that's a mess in Toronto, and that's another one. Not a quick, easy fix. I mean, they'll probably be better once they clear out some of the lesser contracts and have some money to reinvest. But that's a tough situation there, and you have to remember Matthews is going short term in all these deals. So like if you're not competitive by when his contract's up, he's gonna probably look at some of his other options as well. So I would be very careful if I was the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Wow, I imagine them having to go through another period of terribleness and go through a rebuild. Oh, that would be rough. Now we got a few minutes left. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a figure five here. Why not? Right? We're gonna do a figure five. It is Super Bowl themed, and since we haven't done this in a while, Jared's got 5 questions to figure out who's in the box. And if he's in the box, we open it up, and if not, he stays in the box and goes back in the garage into the storage. So, without further, now I've told Jared off the air it is Super Bowl related, so that should at least help a little bit narrow it down to team wise. But I give you your first question, please.
Is this player a quarterback?
No.
Did this player win a Super Bowl at any point?
No Super Bowl rings.
Not a quarterback. Didn't win a Super Bowl. Is this player in the Hall of Fame?
No. He is an analyst that you might see on weekends.
On weekends. Okay. Not win a Super Bowl. He's not a quarterback, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. Is this? Let me narrow it down a little further. Is this a former New England Patriot?
Former Seahawk.
A former Seahawk. Analyst. Not in the Hall of Fame, not a quarterback. Former Seahawk, did not win the Super Bowl. Is this an offensive player?
Yes. He played for a total of 1, 2, 3 teams for 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. 1, 2. So he played for one team, the Seahawks, for 5 seasons, and the Cowboys for 4, Buccaneers for 5, and then he had a cup of coffee with the Patriots and Commanders at the end of his career.
All right, I think I know who this is. Is it Joey Galloway?
Yeah, there we go.
I wouldn't have gotten there without those extra hints, but
I knew I had to throw you a bone because, like, you really didn't have much to go off of there.
I didn't have much. No, I didn't.
But listen, when you talk about fast receivers coming out of college, like, I'm not surprised he played for the Cowboys because we know Jerry likes. I'm surprised he never played for the Raiders with that speed. Oh, the Raiders love speed there too. But drafted by the Seahawks, first round, 8th overall. Then played for the Cowboys, like I said, the Buccaneers, Patriots. I don't remember him with the Patriots or the Commanders at the end. That definitely.
I don't remember the Commanders. I do remember him briefly with the Patriots. I don't remember if he
yeah.
was on one of those Patriots Super Bowl teams or not.
He was on the Super Bowl. Now, let's bring up. We got the Rip Cam there. There's the Joey Galloway card. That white and gray pants. Let's be careful as to not lose a helmet here. And yeah, just a pose on it. Joey Galloway makes a lot of these catches. Probably made a lot of these catches in his day. Just going up for it. Good old 84. They love those silver pants with the green and blue. There we go. Good job out of you to get off the schneid. It's been a while since we did it, and you got it right. I haven't opened one of those in a while. As I throw that box away. And
well, you had to lead the big dumb idiot to the water, and you had to actually take my head and put it like not under the water, but like within like reach of the water before I finally drank said water. But I eventually got there.
You're kind of like, it was kind of like my older cat. She's 18. She's recently gone blind. So like she still gets around, but I kind of have to like position her in front of the food bowl so she could be like, oh, there it is. Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. But there we go. So you're a blind cat. No more starting lineup studio audience, but I'm sure if there was, he would join it. I don't know. But Seahawks, Patriots.
It's fine. It's fine.
Now we got, what's sad is like the football season's kind of over. Like we got one more week and then it's like, okay, combine, all that other stuff, draft. But like we switched to heavy hockey here in the next couple of weeks. I'm excited.
Heavy hockey, and we'll start doing a little bit of baseball because we're only like 2 weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting. So like we're going to go right out of Super Bowl and basically be right in baseball mode.
Oh, we'll see here. I mean, off season, at least the last few weeks for baseball has been picking it up.
Hey, it's fine. The Yankees just hired a new director of international scouting. So there you go.
That's what they did. Now, you can get more content for hockey over at Total Hockey Now. We'll be live this Thursday, as always. Also, if you want to see Jared's content for the Devils, all about thejersey.com. And he's busy putting out poker shorts throughout the week and months coming up here at Jared Moore Poker.
That we are. Yeah, we got a lot of content coming down the pipeline. So stay tuned.
And we got RipNRiff@gmail.com if you want to reach out to us. And, of course, don't forget, like, subscribe, follow, all of that good stuff. But for at Mr. Jared Moore, I am at Pucking Thoughts Adam Bernard. Back with you next week. Complete Super Bowl breakdown, props, preview, and all that good stuff. Go back for our sides and total picks earlier in the show. Talk to you next week on another edition of Rip and Riff here on the Rip and Riff YouTube channel.